And so if you've got any questions, just give me a call, 877-927-6648. If it's a trade that you're in or a trade that you're looking to get in, just give me a call. We'll go ahead and take a look at it. And I would absolutely love to hear from you. Again, 877-927-6648. Now, before we get started, what I wanted to do is, just tell you a quick little story. And the reason is because it's so important when we are managing money. That's what, if you're listening on this show, one of the things that we both have in common is our time, a segment of our time is focused on trying to manage money. And it's so important. It is a skill that isn't taught anywhere as far as in the university schedule out there. Certainly here at TFNN, we have so many contributors that are so focused on being able to help you save or protect your money, as our good friend Bud Rolfe says, and we are really trying to help you protect and make your money grow. Well, this story is a story about a Chinese emperor, and his daughter was very, very sick, and the word was sent out, throughout the land that if anybody could come to, heal his daughter, he would be forever grateful. And in fact, and this went on for a period of time. Finally, an individual showed up. Pang Lu showed up. And when he showed up, he was somehow able to heal her. I don't know if it was an herbal thing, but the point was he healed her. And the emperor said, well, what gift, could I present to you? And the gift that he asked for was, since he had just healed this person, he said he'd like the hand of his daughter. And so the emperor, because Pang Lu was kind of a peasant, if you will, came from, was a farmer, came from the farmland. And the emperor said, no, can you come up with something else? Pang Lu said, well, how about just a grain of rice then? And the emperor, obviously, he didn't want to give away his daughter's hand, but a grain of rice? No, I can't just give you a grain of rice. He said, well, I'll tell you what. For the next 100 days, if you feel so inclined, just double it each day. So the emperor said, sure. So day one, what gets delivered to Pang Lu? 1 grain of rice. How about day 2? He gets 2 grains of rice. How about day 3? That's right. He's got 4 grains of rice. How about day 10? Day 10, he gets delivered 512 grains of rice. Not too bad. Day 20, 524,000 grains of rice. By day 30, 536 million grains of rice. At that stage, the emperor came to Pang Lu and said, would you please marry my daughter? Folks, it is the power of compounding. And that power really shapes your life are the decisions that you make. And those decisions, folks, are key and critical. And what you will do, well, I don't know how I did this, but I just lost power to my system. And that could be a slight problem. Hey, Al, if you're listening, grab my power cord out of my office, would you? Sorry about that, folks. So I can't look at any charts at the moment, but I will here shortly as soon as I get my power connected. How about that? And so look, it's really about the power of compounding. And the key is, thanks, Steve, just if you could hook up. And the power of compounding is just simply so important. And the thing is that what you've got to be able to do is you've got to be able to to get started on it at some point in time, because whether it's 532 million starting with just 1 grain of rice, if you will, and what you're looking at, that's obviously over a course of 30 multiplications. And so what I want to do, what we are focused on being able to do here at TFNN, is absolutely help you compound and your income. And we do that through trading. Now, one of the things that I do, look, I didn't plan on doing this, but since my power is off here, I'm going to do this going in the first segment until I get back up and running. And so let me talk to you about first about what's going on in the marketplace. And what's going on in the marketplace from my listeners is we trade probabilities. Some of those probabilities are based on different celestial patterns that are out there. And those celestial patterns being new moon and full moon cycles. There's other things that impact the markets clearly other than that from a planetary standpoint. And that's one of the things that I'll be discussing tomorrow in my webcast that I do at 3 o'clock. I do that every other week for all of my subscribers. What I do for them each day and over the weekends is I take a look at the marketplace and I take a look at different patterns that are setting up, and it can be currencies, it could be commodities, it's a lot of ETFs and some stocks. I take a look at both short-term and long-term and look at patterns that folks can be taking a look at. And what I also do is when we enter a trade, what I do is I give out the information as to the reason why, the pattern, in order to be able to help to educate folks. So part of my process, part of the newsletter process, is not just about taking the trade. It's really about understanding what's behind it, because so many of you want to be empowered to be able to take a look at this on your own. And so many of you want to be able to teach this to others. And it's all teachable, it's all learnable, and that's what my focus on. And so where we're at right now is we're in this full moon cycle that began in the middle of this month. And it's going to run through the new moon cycle that we have that's going to occur on July the 30th. That is this coming Saturday. But there are many, many different aspects that are all occurring right around the same time. On the call, we had a call on the show that Tom and I did just earlier, and I was showing folks how there's this 32-day cycle that's been working like clockwork. And when you took a look at this 32-day cycle, folks, it took a look at the March 16th time frame. It took a look at the May 2nd time frame, which was a high. March 16th was a real important day. There was a super full moon that occurred 2 days later. And that March 16th swing point that we have is what we're always using right now as a benchmark. We're using that as a benchmark to take a look at a retracement in the marketplace. We're looking at that as a benchmark as to when we come into that swing point and we test it. And we've tested it a few times here on lighter volume. And what happens when you get to a swing point on lighter volume and you test it, folks, is when you test it on lighter volume, there's not enough power, there's not enough energy to break it down. And so what you'll do is you'll start to go back up to the top of the swing point. Maybe you won't go all the way back up to the top. Maybe you will go back up. We have life again. Maybe you'll go back up to the top of the, maybe to a 0.786 or a 618 area. And we take a look at the markets here. I don't know if I'm live just yet. I'll just wait for everything here to just kind of set up. And when we take a look at the markets, you know, what we did last week on Thursday was a real big day, because on Thursday there was some volume that came into the markets. We had the NASDAQ went over its highs. You know, we've had Apple trading above $400. When we come back from, or when I get live, or we come back from break, I will be able to, you know, we'll go take a look at the Apple chart. In fact, okay, I think I'm up right now. Let's go take a look at the Apple chart, because it's an interesting stock. You know, one of the things with some of these indexes, now Apple's trading at 403.83 right now. It's trading up towards the top of the range. And when you take, I mean, really up at the top of the range for the day. And if you take a look at, you know, I've had calls from folks on Apple, and the question is, you know, where is this thing going? There is absolutely, there's a huge AB equals CD pattern that completed at 396.63. And that is, you know, one of the things that Tom taught me, and you've probably heard it, or if you've gotten his book, The Art of Timing the Trade, is that when you do a 1 to 1.618, AB equals CD up, you typically have an immediate trend change. So to a certain extent, what we could be looking at here in Apple is an immediate trend change. Now, immediate, folks, when I say immediate, I'm not talking about today at 11:17 in the morning. You know, this could take place maybe, how about August 2nd? Might be a time frame where this would take place. I'm not going to go ahead and predict the date here, but when you take a look at this, and then I know we have a lot of folks that trade silver, and they'll go ahead and they'll take a look at the SLV chart. So, in fact, I'll just go ahead and pull out the SLV chart, just so you can see these, how these 1 to 1.618s on a larger time frame. Let me go ahead and pull this up on a weekly basis. And on a weekly basis, on the, let's see, if we want to go back to, let's go back to the low down here back in the October of 2008 time frame. And that just makes a full ABC. That's a 1-to-1 ABC that would have finished at $48, 48. And the high that we got to on the SLV, folks, was 48.35 on April 29th. But if we go take a look at another ABC pattern, that ABC pattern starting at July 2010 up to the high that it made in January of 2011 and come down to the low in January 28, 2008, you'll see, and I just drew this in on my chart. So, folks, make sure you're on TigerTV so that you can take a look at it. Or if you're listening to the audio portion of this, you should be able to see the archive. It'll be on channel 14. And what you'll see here is we had two ABC patterns completing in roughly the same area. So we had a 1 to 1.618 on a smaller ABC that completed at 47.59. We had a much larger ABC, if you will, going back all the way to the November of 2008 time frame that finished at $48. And what you can see that happened in the SLV was it was an immediate trend change. Now, was it immediate that day? If we go ahead and we pull up the daily chart on that, it was pretty close. It was pretty close. If we go take a look again at the Apple chart, what's interesting about what is forming inside the Apple chart is the gap up that it had coming into last July 19th. I don't know what, that was the Friday. So that was not this past Friday, but the Friday before. And you can see what the market did. Apple, I believe they came out with earnings the following day, and it gapped up and it sold off. And what you've got here is you've heard me talk about these islands out there. And that's what we have right now in the SPY chart. You know, we still have an island reversal candle that is out there. What I saw taking place in the market last Thursday was everybody was on the cruise ship coming into the island. Well, right now, you know, Apple's got a lot of folks that are on this island. And how this gap gets filled here, folks, will be really critical to anybody who's trading the Qs or the QID or the QLD. Folks, 877-927-6648. Give me a call. We'll be right back.
Yeah, it's always better when we're together.
X-Story Gold Mines, an NYSE Amex-listed company trading under the symbol XG, is slated to be the newest gold-silver producer in Argentina. X-Story is forecast to produce more than $250 million in bullion annually, beginning in 2013, at a cash cost of less than $200 for each ounce of gold produced. That forecast will make X-Story one of the highest margin operators in South America and a sector leader in the mining industry. X-Story has $50 million in its treasury, having spent over $60 million to date on drilling and engineering. The ultimate size of its Argentina discovery could be determined by year-end as results from the 6 drills operating at the site are fully assessed. To find out more about X-Story Gold Mines and their exciting growth potential, click on their banner on the front page of TFNN.com or check them out on the NYSE Amex under the symbol XG.
Purchase Tiger Dollars during the month of July, and you will be automatically registered to attend Tom O'Brien's one-day live webinar, 5 primary core techniques to become a master trader at no additional charge. Your purchase of Tiger Dollars is the only way to gain access to this exclusive webinar. The one-day webinar will be held Monday, August 8th from 8 a.m. till 3 p.m. The course will also be archived on your members page for you to view at your convenience. Go to the front page of TFNN.com under Breaking News and order your Tiger Dollars now.
Great Basin Gold is a mining company engaged in the exploration and development of 2 emerging gold properties in Nevada and South Africa with a total resource base of more than 23 million gold ounces. Great Basin's Burnstone mine in South Africa opened in February of this year with a resource of 20 million gold ounces, becoming the first mine to open in the historic Witwatersrand Basin in the last 30 years. The Burnstone mine is projected to have a 25-year mine life and is fully financed with production anticipated to be over 250,000 ounces per year at a cash cost of only $450 per ounce. The Hollister mine in Nevada became fully integrated in the 4th quarter of 2010 with annual production estimates of 110,000 ounces of gold per year over the 8-year mine life at a cash cost of only $527 per ounce. Great Basin Gold is cash flow positive and trades on the Toronto and New York stock exchanges under the symbol GBG.
You've heard Bud Rolfs give his expert technical analysis of the stock market on the radio. Now you can have his superior trading advice and his best stock picks delivered right to your desktop every week with his newsletter, The Torch. Using his own trademarked Warpath trading system, Bud will help you to increase your odds of making and saving money in the markets with powerful stock selection, stock analysis, and trading plan strategies. Published every Monday morning, each issue of The Torch features full-color charts in an easy-to-follow format. You will also receive not only the big picture of what's going on in the major markets and critical sectors, but also featured stock picks with complete trading plans and technical setups. as well as the Subscribers Corner, where Bud analyzes stocks submitted by subscribers. Visit TFNN.com today and receive your 2-week free trial of the Torch. That's a $75 value. Sign up now and make sure you receive all the great market analysis and winning trade ideas in every action-packed issue of the Torch from Bud Rolfs.
TFNN introduces Tiger TV. Tiger TV brings you video content to help you succeed in the financial markets and beyond. Investors and traders can get in-depth information, news, commentary, and education for investing and trading equities, options, commodities, forex, futures, and more. Just go to TFNN.com and click Tiger TV and select your favorite channel from the carousel on the left. Grab a popcorn and get ready for Tiger TV, a great new service from TFNN.com. This segment is brought to you by BackTech Environmental. For more information, just click the BackTech banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
It's always better when we're together. Yeah, we'll look at them stars when we're together. Well, it's always better when we're together. Yeah, it's always better when we're together.
It absolutely is, folks. Welcome back. I'm Steve Rhodes. This is the Trader's Edge. Our call number is 877-927-6648. And thanks so much for sticking around with me. You know, life is a wonderful thing. The universe is incredibly wonderful because, you know, you like surprises, don't you? I mean, you know, if you're watching us on TV, you like surprises, right? Everyone likes surprises, right? Wrong. We only like the surprises we like. And what did the universe throw at me today? This morning, just coming into that first segment, it threw at me a surprise where all of my computer systems and everything shut down. Live on the air, making an introduction to you if you just happen to be tuning in because you were looking for Basil's show and instead you got me. And folks, what you've got to do is, you know, the markets trade just as well. And so hopefully you thought I held up pretty good there, just immediately went on to something else. And because that's what you've got to do when you're trading. You know, it's those expectations. You know, the expectation here, folks, is that everything is going to work. And what you've got to be able to do is life is going to throw some curveballs at you. But what you've got to do to get around that is just simply change your focus. It's really because that's what, if I could have focused on the system being down and everything else, okay, I could have focused on the negative. That's what they call the automatic negative thought. But you don't want to do that. Because you have a choice in life. You absolutely have choices. And it's the decisions you make, you know, that shape your destiny, especially when you have those curveballs that are thrown at you. So I love the universe. I love those curveballs because, you know, it's what makes things exciting. So now that we're back going live, you know, give me a call, 877-927-6648. Be easy for me to take a look at your chart and actually see if you were even on the line. Now, let's go take a look at these markets and see what we've got going on out here. And what I think is we've got a really strong, resilient market in place right now. We have ever since the ever since we made the low in the SPYs on July the 18th. And that low that we made there, we actually had a full moon come in on the 15th. My subscribers and I, we waited to the 18th. We got into a portion of the trade as the SPYs were near its lows, and then we completed the rest of that trade going in towards the 3 o'clock time frame. And when I say resilient, because you know we had a nice big upthrust in most of the indexes on last Thursday. And when I take a look at what's going on today, right now you absolutely have the struggle between the bulls and the bears. But the bulls right now are winning. How do we know that? Well, let's go take a look at 3 of the 4 indexes, and then we'll come back to the one where it's kind of a toss-up right now. So let's take a look at the SPYs since we talked about the SPYs. So that would be the XBX for folks. And what we've done, and what shows right now how strong we are in the SPYs, when we take a look at the low that we made on July the 18th, the low there was 1295.92, and we take that all the way up to the high of 1347. What you want to do is you want to use your retracement tool. That's our tool, folks, that tells us the different foundations inside the building. And the building, that when we take a look at it, is what we take a look at from a low to a high swing point or a high to a low swing point. And our first floor, in our buildings on these technical charts, we don't have a floor 1. We've got a floor 0.382. And that floor 0.382 on the SPYs is 1327. Well, what we traded down to today, this morning, is we got down to a low of 1329. So we're 2 points above that. Now, what you can take a look, when you take a look at the candle that we're looking at here, and it's 1128, what you'll see is a small real body right here at the top. If the SPY closes maybe where it got up to a high today of 1338, maybe just a little bit higher, what that will set up is that'll set up a hammer candle. And a hammer candle, the reason why they call it a hammer is because you're hammering out a bottom. Now, if the SPYs only make less than a 0.382 retracement, what it is, when these retracements here, I take a look at them as being a rubber band, if you will. And if you wound the rubber band all the way up so that it was at 100%, and you back it off only 0.382 and you let it go, you know, depending on what you have on there, you know, that thing will catapult and have a lot of energy and take off. Well, it's the same thing when you only make a 0.382 retracement. And so what that would do is that could conceivably on the SPX, if we happen to be making a low today, and I'm not saying that we have to wait to see how the day plays out, but folks, where that would take us to the 1380 area, 1380. And so let's watch to see how the market plays out. Let's go take a look at the Russell 2000. So the SPYs, let's put this in perspective. Let's go look at the NASDAQ, because that's actually the big dog. That's the strong dog in the hunt right now. And if we take a look at the NASDAQ, let me pull that up here for us. On the NASDAQ composite, we're trading at 2847.18 right now. You can see on this, maybe I can make this just a little bit clearer here for you. You can see that the 0.382 retracement on this would have been 28.17. Yesterday we got down to a low 28.28. This thing is also incredibly strong, and that's with Netflix being down 25. 877-927-6648. Give me a call, folks.
Yeah, it's always better when we're together.
Hi folks, this is Tom O'Brien. To help you celebrate your trading independence during the month of July, we are offering you a unique opportunity to get all of the TFNN outstanding products at a substantial discount and to receive access to an exclusive webinar that you can only get with this offer. If you purchase Tiger Dollars during July, you will automatically be registered to attend my live webinar at no extra charge. During this one-day webinar, you'll spend 5 hours in the TFNN virtual classroom learning the 5 primary fundamental core techniques to become a master trader. The live one-day webinar, 5 primary fundamental core techniques to become a master trader, will be held on Monday, August 8th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. If you're unable to attend the live webinar, the course will be archived on your members page for you to view at your convenience. Outstanding TFNN products at substantial discounts with a free webinar. Now that's a great way to celebrate your trading independence. Go to the Tiger store and purchase your Tiger Dollars now.
Win free silver all summer long during our Great Panther Silver Summer Silver Giveaway.
So let's go to our man, Dan from Reading, Massachusetts. Dan, are you on the line?
I am. I got a call that I won that Great Panther giveaway.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Hey. That's great. That's great. Did you believe you were going to be a winner?
I doubted it. I don't usually win, but pleased to win.
Starting Tuesday, June 21st through Labor Day, TFNN will hold a drawing once a day, 5 days a week, business days only. One lucky entrant will receive one of these beautiful coins.
Today's winner is Len Winograd from Hollandale, Florida. How are you today, Len?
Never better. I feel so good. I should be twins.
Congratulations. Beautiful silver coin. How long have you been listening to TFNN, Len?
I listen every day for the last 4 years.
Winning one of these extraordinary coins could not be easier. There's no contest and no gimmicks. Go to the front page of TFNN.com for more information. Win free silver all summer long during our Great Panther Silver Summer Silver Giveaway.
Great Basin Gold is a mining company engaged in the exploration and development of 2 emerging gold properties in Nevada and South Africa with a total resource base of more than 23 million gold ounces. Great Basin's Burnstone mine in South Africa opened in February of this year with a resource of 20 million gold ounces, becoming the first mine to open in the historic Witwatersrand Basin in the last 30 years. The Burnstone mine is projected to have a 25-year mine life and is fully financed with production anticipated to be over 250,000 ounces per year at a cash cost of only $450 per ounce. The Hollister mine in Nevada became fully integrated in the 4th quarter of 2010 with annual production estimates of 110,000 ounces of gold per year over the 8-year mine life at a cash cost of only $527 per ounce. Great Basin Gold is cash flow positive and trades on the Toronto and New York stock exchanges under the symbol GBG.
What type of investor are you? Conservative, moderate, or aggressive? No matter your investor personality, your overall portfolio should reflect your financial goals, time horizon, and your risk tolerance. Help ensure your portfolio is appropriately invested with an asset allocation plan from Morgan Stanley Smith Barney. Simply picking the right stocks is not enough. Research has shown that choosing the right proportion of stocks, bonds, and cash is essential to the success of your long-term investments. Morgan Stanley Smith Barney believes a carefully selected portfolio can lower your volatility and increase investment return potential. Find out about what asset allocation and a Morgan Stanley Smith Barney financial advisor can do for you. Call Angelo O'Brien, financial advisor and certified financial planner of the Clearwater, Florida branch at 727-441-6108 today to discuss your personal financial needs. Asset allocation does not assure a profit or protect against loss in declining financial markets. Investments and services are offered through Morgan Stanley Smith Barney, LLC. Member SIPC.
Purchase Tiger Dollars in the month of July. Order Mastering Probability and receive access to Tom O'Brien's exclusive one-day live webinar. 5 primary core techniques to become a master trader.
It's always better when we're together. Yeah, we'll look at them stars and we're together. Well, it's always better when we're together. Yeah, it's always better when we're together.
Welcome back, folks. Steve Rhodes here, the Trader's Edge. Give me a call at 877-927-6648. And before we went to break, we're just taking a look at the general indexes out here. So we started with the small caps. So we're going to pull up the small caps. That's the Russell 2000, folks. And we take a look at the small caps. One of the things that I've thrown in here is the trend line that we have going back to the June 16 time frame. And you can see that upward bound trend line. Now, what we did this morning was we came down. We didn't hit it exactly, but they just kind of used this, if you will, as a trend. Now, what the Russell 2000 also did was it was very close to making that 0.618 retracement. That is floor number 2, if you will. Floor number 2 is the 0.618 floor. The 0.618, the exact number on it was 823.90. Where it got down to was 824.37. So not too bad. So it has completed its 0.618 retracement. So the Russell 2000 shows that, you know, it's a little bit weaker than the S&P that we took a look at. The NASDAQ, we went in there. That's where we were just going for break. And if we take a look at the NASDAQ composite is the strongest. That here, folks, you can see is that if we take a look at the retracement, let me just get rid of these on the chart here so I can draw them in here. And, folks, I'm going again from that July 18th, the low of that swing point, which was the low there was 27.43, all the way up to the high that we made on Thursday. And the high that we made was 28.62. Well, if this would have backed off a little bit, the 0.382 on that is 28.17. All we got down to yesterday was a low of 28.28. And again, I mentioned that. That's with Apple being up. Apple is up, what, maybe $5? Oh, Apple's up $5. So Apple's trading $403.89. We've got Netflix down $26. So you can see that what the composite did was it got into the swing point of July the 7th. If we switch over to the ETFs, and this was where it gave me our first signal that we're going to be up here and that we are going to go ahead and close those island gaps on the SPY chart and one of the other ones that are out there. If we go take a look at the ETF indexes, folks, here, the ETFs that we're taking a look at, the first one that I've got up here is, in fact, let me see, that's not the right one. Give me a second here to pull up the Qs. So if we take a look at the Qs, and what we're taking a look at here, folks, is that we got up and over the swing point from July the 7th. The swing point that we had there was 54 million shares. And on Thursday, we took that out on lighter volume, 43 million shares. We took that out again yesterday on 48 million shares. So we are up and over that swing point, still on lighter volume. Today it is 11:30, so we've had 2 hours of trading. We've done 21 million shares. Even if you just multiply it times 3 to get a rough estimate, that would give us 60 million shares. Now, today's a Tuesday, so if you were listening to me, I was filling in for Tom on Thursday's show, and what I was talking about, what I wanted to see, you can go back and you can listen to the archive. I said what I'd like to see on Friday and what I'd like to see on Monday is pretty much a move sideways on light volume before we start going and attacking these highs. And in fact, that's what it seems like we're getting at this stage. And because I want to attack these highs, because when you clear this swing point, what you will do is you will move to the next swing point. So right now, what I'd have to do on the Qs is I'd have to go to the monthly chart just to make, just to take a look at it And on the monthly chart, well, there is an actual butterfly pattern that seems to be setting up. That butterfly pattern on the QQQs, folks, could take us to the 63.24 area. We're trading right now at 59.64. So I've got an ABC that completes at 67.01. I've got a butterfly pattern that would complete anywhere between the 63.24 and the 67.01, folks. So that's what I think that we're looking at on the Qs. If you want to take a look at something, give me a call at 877-927-6648, and we can take a look at that. I think we're going into break, but I don't hear the music, so let me just keep going right to the end here. Let's take a look at on the. Let's see here. We are going to break. Give me a call, 877-927-6648, folks.
Now,
To the show that never ends. We're so glad you could attend. Come inside, come inside.
Launched in April, Ken Shreve's newsletter, Ultimate Growth Stocks, has had an overwhelming response, and his outstanding results have not disappointed. Using his unique method of combining a fundamental review of sales and earnings with technical charting for entry and exits, Ken is posting multiple double-digit percentage gains. This month only, you can lock in the low introductory rate of $395 per year. Log on to TFNN.com today to gain instant access to Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks newsletter. TFNN and Tom O'Brien have announced a one-of-a-kind special for this month only. During July, if you purchase at least $500 worth of Tiger Dollars, not only do you get a 20% bonus, but you also gain access to an exclusive one-day online class with Tom O'Brien. Tom's live one-day webinar will take place Monday, August 8th, and of course will be archived if you can't attend or just want to review. Tom will focus on the 5 primary fundamental core techniques to become a master trader, and the only way to gain entry to this exciting one-day class is by purchasing your Tiger Dollars in the month of July. The best part about Tiger Dollars is you can spend them on a variety of newsletters and products we offer. Bud, Basil, Ken, Dave, Steve, Larry, Tom, or Nico, no matter your preference, they all accept Tiger Dollars for their services. Purchase your Tiger Dollars this month and don't miss out on Tom's exclusive full-day webinar. Visit TFNN.com and act today.
At Tiger Metal Exchange, we pay you more for converting your jewelry to cash.
Let's go to Brian in New Jersey. Hey, Brian, what's going on?
Hey, Tom, just want to let you know I did give you some jewelry. My jeweler offered me about $650, but you get a check in the mail tomorrow for about $1,200.
At Tiger Metal Exchange, it's all about honesty when converting your jewelry to cash.
Okay, let's go to Paul in Florida first. Hey, Paul, what's going on?
I want to commend you on the Tiger Metal Exchange. I just did a deal with you guys the other day.
Oh, good.
I'm very happy.
Well, I appreciate it. Now, Did you sell us jewelry or did you buy coins off us?
Yeah, I sold you jewelry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
What we weighted at was less than you guys said, so, you know, you're totally honest.
At Tiger Metal Exchange, we give you the tools to value your gold, and it's absolutely free. Call 866-618-8888 or log on to TigerMetalExchange.com. We've created the easiest, safest, and most honest cash for gold process. Tiger Metal Exchange. It's the only call you need to make.
TFNN introduces Tiger TV. Tiger TV brings you video content to help you succeed in the financial markets and beyond. Investors and traders can get in-depth information, news, commentary, and education for investing and trading equities, options, commodities, forex, futures, and more. Just go to TFNN.com and click Tiger TV and select your favorite channel from the carousel on the left. Grab a popcorn and get ready for Tiger TV, a great new service from TFNN.com.
Hi, folks. This is Tom O'Brien. My new book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, is for sale at Amazon.com for only $18.40.
It's always better when we're together. Yeah, we'll look at them stars when we're together. Well, it's always better when we're together. Yeah, it's always better when we're together.
It absolutely is, folks, and welcome back. My name is Steve Rhodes, host of the Trader's Edge. Our call number here is 877-927-6648, And the show earlier that Tom and I did, and folks, if you're just tuning in, Tom and I are going to be doing a show Monday through Friday from 10 to 11 each day. So a little joint show. We're doing that live on TigerTV, and stay tuned for that on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I will follow that show from 11 to 12. And then today, following me, is Don Kaufman, Great Options Hour. And so stay tuned for that. Now, during the show that Tom and I were doing, we were just kicking that off. And we had a caller, Garo, our man Garo from California, who wanted to take a look at PCP, Precision Cast Parts. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. And first, what I want to do, what I want to teach you is I want to take a look at the ABC that Precision Auto Parts made. Now, the A point on this that I'm taking a look at goes back to the April 18, 2011 timeframe. The low that Precision, the PCP, that's the symbol, folks, the low that it made was 140.42. It moved all the way up to the May 9th time frame, where it made a high of 159.32. So that was a $10.94 move, or swing, if you will. It backed off, and where it backed off to was the 147.62 area. That was on June 13th. That became our C point. So our A to B equals C to D. Now, there's a couple things that I like to take a look at when I am using my tool, my formation tool, if you will, of an A to B equals C to D. The first thing, you want to understand the strength of the move. And one of the ways that you do that is you simply want to take a look at the angle that was made on the A to B. And that angle should be about the same on the C to D. And if the move up on the C to D leg is on the left side of your line, that's telling you that you've got a stronger market in making that AB equals CD pattern. If it's on the right side, it's telling you it's taking longer in time. So you've got a weaker move. So you want to be able to take a look at that. You want to just draw an ABC. You want to take a look at the ABC patterns, especially as you're making that C to D leg, because when it gets to the D point, that's when we take a look at selling. We take a look at selling. Maybe it might be selling short. Maybe it just might be putting in a tighter stop or a trailing stop, because what that's telling us is we're going to likely pull back. Nothing wrong with pulling back. Depends what your longer-term strategy was when you actually entered the trade. Now, when we cross, the other thing that you want to take a look at is you want to take a look at the volume as you cross the B point. Now, that B point, again, was May 9th. And the volume that we did on Precision PCP, was, let's see here, was 838,000 shares. Now, when we take a look at, I use a tool here to take a look at when we cross that B point, what type of volume did we have? Well, we came into that, and we actually closed higher on June 28th. We did that, folks, with 1.3 million shares. So we came in, we crossed that B point on 1.3 million shares. That's the second thing, or maybe that's the first thing that you want to take a look at, is what's the volume characteristic as you're coming into that? When you cross a B point with more volume than you had at that B point, what that tells you is you certainly are likely going to do a 1-to-1. My experience has been look for that 1 to 1.272 A to B equals C to D, somewhere in that area. And what did PCP do here, folks? It came all the way up, and it almost got to the 1 to 1.272. That would have finished at 171.70. What did it do? It got up to a high of 171.43, only about, less than 30 cents away. And what it did, it opened right there that day. It opened at the 171.43 and immediately sold off. Now, you can see on the angle that we've got on my C to D leg, folks, what you can see is that it was pretty much staying right on line with it. Maybe just a little bit to the right, but right on line with it. If price had been on the left side of this, this would have been telling us that maybe we're going to go to do that 1 to 1.618. Now, when you do those, you normally back off. So you want to take a look at what's the volume pattern or anything else going on with regard to the candles as you're coming back. So what does PCP do? It comes off the top, comes off that high with 1.9 million shares. In fact, if we pull this back just a little bit further, it's one of the higher volume days. You'd have to go all the way back to the time frame of November of 2010 to find a higher volume candle, 2.5 million. You've got to come back to the candle of October 21st, where you did 3.1 million shares. So you got to go way back there. You got to pay attention to those candles. You got to pay attention to that volume. But let's just put that off to the side. So when you have volume like this off the highs, what it's also telling you is that you're going to get back up there. The question is when, and is there any other pattern that might be out there? Well, if you're taking a look at, you won't know if you've got a real down move until you break a swing on the way down. Well, the real swing that we're talking about here, if you take a look at the move down, is the one from July 18th. You remember July 18th? That was our full moon day. That was a day where we went long as the market was coming down. My subscribers and I were going long because we like to buy lower price. You know, you've heard the term, you know, buy low, sell high. Well, that's what we do. Those are the patterns that we look for. And we came down with 505,000 shares. So we made a high out there on 1.9 million shares. We come down with 500,000 shares. That's something nice. You want to be able to see that for sure. What does it do? It moves back up. Let's take a look and see how this retraced. Let's see what floor this thing moved back up into. It moved back up just above the 0.618. And the 0.618, folks, if you are ever in Clearwater, love you to come visit us. You come over to our offices, and, of course, you would be getting off at floor 618. Well, it's really floor 6, but we're in suite 618, and we'd love to see you. Now, if we take a look at PCP, you can see how it moved back up, it retraced back up, and when it moved back up, you know, the volume, it made some decent volume when it moved back up to the July 21st time frame. And then it's backed off with some lighter volume. So again, another good pattern that you want to be able to see here, Garo, if you're still listening in. Now, what it's doing right now is it is testing the swing point from July 18th. Remember, we had 500,000 shares. Right now, today, what we've done is we've traded with 313,000 shares. So, Garo, we're coming into this swing point with too much volume. It's only 11:49. We already have 300,000 shares. You want to watch to see how this thing closes. It's going to likely close with inside the swing point. What you want to see it do is you want to see it test the bottom of that July 18th swing point. The low there was 157.86. If you can test that with less than 500,000 shares, that's where you might want to fire away. We come back, we can take a look at the Gartley pattern that this may also be setting up, folks. Give me a call, 866-877. I can't even remember the number.
Put the power of the Chapman Wave methodology to work for you. No matter what market you trade, what time frame you trade in, or your trading style, the Opening Call, Basil Chapman's daily market newsletter, is bursting with the information and trades you need to become a more successful trader.
I've been using Basil Chapman's Chapman Wave methodology for several years now. His Chapman Wave can be used for any time period for not only equities, but futures, currencies, commodities. I've been also a subscriber of his Opening Call, which I find an invaluable tool to help me analyze the potential of the market each day. He gives you opportunities to go short and long. It includes recommendations on stocks. I strongly recommend people using the Chapman Wave, and I very, very strongly support the use of his Opening Call.
To find out more about Basil Chapman and his Chapman Wave methodology, and to get your 2-week free trial of the Opening Call, a $64 value, visit tfnn.com today. Looking for some extra cash to help pay off some of your bills? Let Tiger Metal Exchange convert your unwanted jewelry to cash. We pay out 80% of the market price for gold. Our payouts are the highest in the industry, more than double our largest competitors. And we've created the safest, easiest, and most straightforward process for converting your jewelry to cash. Log on to TigerMetalExchange.com and get your free scale, your free eye loop, and get the cash you deserve now. We provide a free online calculator that converts your jewelry to cash at up-to-the-minute spot prices. We insure your items for up to $75,000 per shipment free of charge. We videotape the entire valuation process so that you can view it online. You can call us toll-free at 866-618-8888 or log on to TigerMetalExchange.com. Let Tiger Metal Exchange put more cash in your pocket without ever leaving the comfort of your home. Join the list of thousands of satisfied customers and go to TigerMetalExchange.com. It's the only click you need to make.
Tom O'Brien's weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, gives traders, investors, and money managers a thorough strategy for trading in the gold market. If you're an investor in gold or any of the gold mining equities, this newsletter is an essential tool that can help you become a better trader in the gold market. The Gold Report comes out every Monday with complete coverage of the entire gold market, including the XAU, HUI, the dollar, the bond, the rand, as well as more than 35 different mining equities. For the low price of $150, you will receive 13 weeks of the Gold Report, or you can order up to a full year for under $500. If you'd like to find out more about the Gold Report, log on to tfnn.com, or for more information, call our office at 877-518-9190. That's 877-518-9190.
Would you like to discover the next great tech stock? David White, TFNN's technology guru, has just launched his new newsletter, The Technology Insider. In his newsletter, David will be looking for those shining stars that may turn into the next Apple, Microsoft, or Cisco. David combines his technology background as a software programmer with his market skills as a successful professional trader to give you this unique newsletter. We're on the verge of the next great tech run. With the Technology Insider, you'll be in front of the run-up and not lagging behind. David is developing a long-term investment portfolio, therefore we're only offering the Technology Insider as an annual subscription with a remarkable price of only $395. That's right, for a little over $1 a day, you'll receive the fundamental technology wisdom and technical trading skills of the Technology Insider David White. What are you waiting for? Go to thefrontoftfnn.com, click on the link on the front page, sign up for your 2-week free trial, and become a Technology Insider today.
Hi folks, this is Tom O'Brien. My new book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, is for sale at Amazon.com for only $18.40.
It's always better when we're together. Yeah, we'll look at them stars and we're together. Well, it's always better when we're together. Yeah, it's always better when we're together.
Welcome back, folks. Steve Rhodes, The Trader's Edge, 877-927-6648. And before we went to break, we were taking a look at a equity PCP, Precision Car Parts. And, you know, it's a really beautiful looking chart. Really beautiful from the standpoint it's, you know, it's up near its highs. There's 143 million shares out there, and the majority of the shareholders are in a profit position. So, you know, it's a beautiful company to be able to see like that. Much like Apple, you know, and Apple's trading near its highs. So every shareholder inside Apple, as we speak right now today, is in the money. And that is a beautiful thing. Now, we were taking a look at Precision Car Parts here, cast parts, PCP. And when we're taking a look at it, what I was showing Garo was the importance of, as we come into the swing point here, I was showing you as we come into the swing point. And again, the swing point we're looking at is July 18th, 500,000 shares. Today we are inside that. The top of that swing, folks, is 161.19. So if you close below that, what you want to do is you want to at least let it test the bottom because you're coming into it. In fact, you're coming into it with volume. So you've got to stay away from this for the day. You've got to let it give you some better information. And the better information is, as we've come into this right now, what this could be doing is this simply could be setting up a sideways trading range between this 158 level and the high that was made on July 22nd, the high there around 167. It may just simply go sideways, build some energy, build some cause in order to go after higher prices. And it will go after its highs up there. And now, what I was mentioning is if this equity here were to close below the low of July 18th, the low there is the 157.86. Depending on the volume that it would do, there is a ABC pattern and a Gartley pattern that would set up. So if I go to the high that was made on July 7th, draw my B point down to the low of July 18th, then we came back up, and the high that we made was July 21st, so 167. That was a $13.58 A to B swing point. Well, the 1-to-1 takes it to 154.29. Now, if we go back to the low that we made on June 13th, and I just simply take my Fibonacci retracement tool so I can see what floor level this would come back down to, what you can see is the 0.786 area is at 152.72. The 1-to-1 A to B equals C to D is at 154.29. So that gives us our range of where there is a Gartley pattern. If you were to cross the B point on lighter volume, and you have lighter volume all the way down, what that would set up a Tiger Gartley, which Tom covers in his book, The Art of Timing the Trade. And if you don't have it, folks, you know, the whole key to becoming a better trader, so many of them, but certainly one of them is going to be the books that you have on your shelf. And these are books that you want to read, you want to reread. You know, we know that this stuff isn't necessarily easy, but just like anything, you know, anything, folks, that seems maybe a little bit confusing or a little bit difficult, what that really means is if you're going to stick with it, you're just about to learn something. You're just that far. So many people work so hard at everything, and let's just say, you know, they're a little seed, if you will, and they're growing and they're trying to get through the earth, you know, and right when they get right to there, when it's the most difficult to bust through, a lot of times folks give up. Now, I know that that's not you. I know that you're not there. I know that you're sticking with us. And because we want you to punch through. That's what we're all about. That's what we want to teach. That's what we want to help. That's what I want to do here. It's what I do with my newsletters. It's what I do with my service. I want to be able to help you punch through to get yourself to the next level. To me, taking yourself and exercising and getting to the next level is really what it's all about. So there is a Gartley pattern, if it can bust through this B point on PCP, that sets up right around the 154 to 150 area. And depending on volume, you know, that is something that we take a look at. There's one other spot where I would take a look at, which would be an ideal Gartley, folks, and that would be right there at 151.67. So, folks, thanks for joining me. Again, I'll be here on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 11 to 12. You can catch me Monday through Friday with Tom from 10 to 11. Thanks so much for being here with me, folks. I'm grateful for your presence. Stick around for Don Kaufman. He'll be up just shortly. Take care, folks.
Well, it's always better when we're together. Yeah, it's always better when we're together.
Are you looking for a precision edge in the market? Something that can stack the odds in your favor? Then look into Larry Pesavento's new trading newsletter, Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind. In each weekly issue, Larry